So let's talk about the verse in the Bible that says that we struggle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces, demons, principalities, devil, all these things. We struggle against not the people of this earth, right? The insults, the all of this connivingness, backstabbing, gossiping, slanderous kind of behavior, murder, and all this stuff. There's spirits that operate in the person to have that person to do all that kind of stuff. The actions are flowing from a place of the spiritual realm. A lot of people are getting they're bitter, they're holding grudges and resentment against a person that was used by a spirit, a demon, in the first place. So there's all kinds of spirits. They come in different shapes and sizes. They have different assignments, and they're here to do three things: steal, kill, and destroy. But the Bible says that you struggle not against people, but against these forces that are using the people inside. And for that reason, God says, forgive people, man. Forgive them because they're being used. And then, the Bible wants you to ask yourself, like, you who judge a person by the plank in their, the little speck in their eye, why don't you remove the plank in your own eye? And what it's saying there is that, how many times have you found yourself in a predicament with a person that you've done wrong to, right? Are you so perfect that you can cast stones, but nobody can cast a stone at you because you're so flawless? Are you so perfect and so blemish-free? Are you so spotless that nobody can find a single thing wrong with you, right? And the answer is that we're all flawed, right? One way or another. Some people are more jacked up than other people, and they're jacked up for different reasons. Some people are not treated nice and kind and generous and loving growing up by their parents. And as a result, they grow up to be like their parents to other people. And they weren't fortunate enough to have what you have, say, maybe hot meals and, whatever, just hugs and stuff like that. Like, they didn't grow up like that. So then you meet them at the workplace and they're a certain type of way, right? And they never got shown that type of love. So God says, give grace, give grace and love, and forgive them, right? Forgive them of their trespasses, so that God could also forgive you of your trespasses. And if you don't forgive them, the Bible says that God will not forgive you of your trespasses. And we're all guilty. And so because we're all guilty, we all need grace. And because we all need grace, have compassion on one another. Have mercy on one another. We're all on the same playing field. Some people need more help than other people. But nevertheless, that doesn't make you better than them. That makes you more fortunate than them, but not better than them. And if you can help them carry their burden. Help them. You can't fix them, but you can help them. God can fix them, but you can help them. And then you will be doing what God, His heart wants for mankind, is for us to love one another as we love ourselves. So that essentially go out into all the world and make disciples is saying, like, look for problems. Look for people that are jacked up and see how you can assist them and help them and support them in some type of way. You don't have to be religious about it. You don't have to, it's just help them, right? And show them that you're about your Father's business. Show them. Don't tell them, show them. And let them say, are you a Christian? Let them ask you. You don't have to say, hey, I'm a Christian, I'm going to do this. No. Your actions will lead the way, and your fruit will show on its own, and it will be evident for everyone to see. He's of the light. She's of the light. She's different. And they will ask questions and inquire on their own. And and then they will be saved because you first demonstrated love. And the Bible says that they will know that you are my disciples by your love. So back to the very beginning of the video, and we'll end. You know, you struggle not against these character defects of people, man. You know, you're wrestling with a spirit in that person that doesn't like you. Okay? And so the Bible says, pray for them. Pray for these people, right? They spitefully use you and all this stuff. Pray for them, right? Bless them. And the reason why is because when you are good to somebody that is bad to you, they are perplexed. They don't know what to do with you. They just know that they feel weird about it. Because the world only knows one language: fight fire with fire. If they're evil to you, be evil back. If they do something to you, do it twice back. Right? That's how the world's language is, right? God says, put out that fire with love, right? Put out that rage, put out that anger with a good deed. Put out, you know, their low self-esteem or their pride. You know, if they have pride, if they have these things, look for a way to enter in with a gift or something good, and then challenge their character, challenge that spirit that is using them, challenge all that, and have them to reflect by the Bible says you are the salt, because you bring salt into it. It will have them to. I'll give you a quick little example. I was doing a job with a coworker of mine, and he was holding up where I was working on a generator, and it wasn't starting, and we were looking at it, and this generator was attached to a trailer, and so you had to get the hood up, and I had asked him, can you hold the hood while I look at this? And he's like, yeah. And the hood was made out of aluminum. So anyways, he's holding the hood, and I'm taking a look at the generator. You know, my head is in there, and then he gets distracted, and then he starts looking at the other side, and he lets go of the hood, and it smacks me on the top of my head, and it was a loud thud. So he picks up the hood, and he is very apologetic at this point. He's looking at me, man, eyes are bulging out of his head. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I let it go on your head. You told me to carry it for you, bro. You know, and I let it go, man. And he's expecting me to be very angry and lash out at him, because this is the world that he lives in on a daily basis. And I respond back to him with a smile and saying, don't worry about it, brother. You made a mistake. It's okay. And that's it. That was it. And so then he was flabbergasted by that. I was like, what? You're not angry? What is this? Like, he couldn't believe it. So I brushed right by it. I'm trying to get on with the task, but he can't get past it. He can't get past by the fact that I wasn't angry. He calls me later on that day, and he says, I can't stop thinking about you. And I say, why? And then he's like, that scenario, man, you didn't get angry with me. I can't understand. Why didn't you get angry with me? If you did that to me, I would have been angry with you. I would have been cussing you out. He told me just like that. I would have been cussing you out if you did that to me. And I was just like, brother, the only thing I can tell you, man, authentically from my heart, is that God has done a good work in me. And that, like, because my mind is on God, and I'm just meditating on the Lord and this and that, there's no room for this kind of animosity. You know, like, I'm not angry. I'm not walking around bitter. I'm not looking for an excuse to get angry. I don't have a chip on my shoulder. I'm just meditating on things above, and like, I'm in a good mood, man. So that thing slammed on my head, I respond with what I'm meditating on, right? You're meditating on bad news all day, like the junk of this world and all this garbage that this world feeds you, you know, and like all this bad news, and then something like that happens, yeah, bro, like obviously you're gonna respond like that. But the Bible says, be in this world, but don't be of this world. And so we're supposed to be doers of the word, not just hearers of the word. And so that's how you get a difference out of people. And so right there, that was a marker for that guy. And that's the kind of stuff that really, it changes people. You know, it's not the sermons that change people. It's not the, you know, it really comes down to a demonstration, an act of watching somebody really authentically believe what they say and live it out. And then it's like, you know what, I like that. I like, and it makes them thirst for that life, because nobody's gonna argue with living a life of peace, a life of tranquility and harmony and beauty and love and giving and sharing and charity and just looking for ways to be a blessing and be blessed. Nobody's gonna argue with that. So when you show them that you're living it and this and that, man, you're just dwelling in it, people are drawn to that like moths to a flame, and they just want to know about God and they want what you got. But if you're not living it, then they don't have anything to practice. They don't have anything to really pursue. So there's no road paved to really follow. So they're perplexed because you're preaching but you're not living. And so then they're like, well, I'm not interested in that. So then that's the thing there. You gotta be a doer of the word. God bless you guys.